I was recently accused of being all sunshine and rainbows. Honestly, I'm not surprised. If anything, I'm surprised I don't get accused of that more often. Before I respond to it, I have to ask you a question. Do you need me to remind you that things are bad? Do you need me to find more fear and give it to you, and then compound that fear with speculation that borders on conspiratorial? Do you wake up each morning looking for a bottomless doom scroll? Because I don't, and yet those things find me anyway. And I'm guessing they find you too. If that's what you're looking for, my videos might not be for you, because there are already thousands of other creators and news outlets that provide that exact terrible service. So I do something else. I try to find hope, and I usually do, because for me, hope is not a pacifier. Hope is a driving force. But if it's going to take us anywhere, it needs new energy every day. These days more than ever. But just telling you to be hopeful doesn't work. That's toxic positivity. So instead, I'm gonna show you how I find hope. And afterward, you have to promise to keep watching my videos anyway. Because if you leave, I would be sad. I'm gonna teach you something I learned in therapy. It's a mechanism to use when you're scared or anxious or spiraling, speculating over all of the terrifying outcomes. When that anxiety takes you over and over right to the edge of the fear, but you never actually address it, and instead you feel paralyzed. What you do to get through that is you take any given outcome that you're afraid of and you talk through it end to end with yourself. Let's try this right now. We'll start with a familiar comment I get on almost every video I make about changing the future with elections. Something along the lines of, bold of you to think we're ever going to have elections again, or yeah, but will we even have midterms? So first, don't ask me. I'm just one person. The correct person to ask is in your bathroom. Walk to your bathroom sink, look up above it, and ask yourself, will we have midterms? Or more specifically, what will I do if I wake up one morning and I see a headline that Donald Trump said we have to suspend elections? Keep in mind, this is explicitly prohibited by the Constitution. We didn't suspend elections in the middle of the Civil War or either World War. There is almost nothing that could happen over the next 3 years that could possibly be worse than either of those two scenarios. So start by acknowledging the fact that you are addressing a wildly irrational fear. And it's not irrational because no one else has ever wanted to do it. It's irrational because it's impossible to do. But even in that outrageous example, when you wake up that morning and you see that headline, are you going to work? Are you going to drive to the store and get Hamburger Helper? Are you going to go to the doom scroll videos and say, see, I was right, and then watch reruns? If this outrageously unlikely scenario ever played out, the only way he would actually get to go through with it is if people did that, if they just didn't do anything. If he tries to suspend or delay elections or declare martial law, which also is not a thing that can happen legally in the United States, understand these would be wildly unpopular decisions. Tens of millions of Americans in every city across the country, instead of going to work or to school, would go to the Capitol building. You would have to choose, just like me, if you would pretend like nothing happened, or if you would take it as a responsibility of a United States citizen to become one of those millions of people and say no, to peacefully and legally interfere as the Constitution requires. And more importantly, all of those chiefs of police, all of those elected officials, all of those governors, every single member of the military, they would also have to choose, because trying to do something that is explicitly forbidden by the Constitution, that's a light switch. And all of those people would have to decide, are they going to obey an order from a tyrant, millions and millions of individual people who all took an oath, or are they going to defend that oath? Tell you what, if they wake up that day and they look around and they see 50 or 60 or 100 million Americans demanding they stand up for the country too, it's going to make it a lot easier to make the right choice. Because you have to remember, the Constitution and all of our laws, they are only words. That's all they've ever been. The only thing that makes us different is that more of us choose to follow them than not. And that is the outcome we would need to make happen. Because even if Trump tried to do any of these things, you still wake up the next day. You still make choices. And I firmly believe if you are carrying that clear spark of hope with you, because you know that tens of millions of us are with you too, it's going to be a lot easier to make that choice. This is exactly what they did in South Korea. But not even a year ago, their old president tried to declare martial law illegally, and that shit was shut down within 24 hours because South Korean citizens lost their minds. Government shut down, the economy shut down, and the people rose up. And in a shockingly fast turnaround, justice was served, and the former president was thrown out. So I'm telling you right now, yes, we will have midterm elections. Yes, we will elect a new president in 2028, because any alternative is unacceptable.